This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so yeah, we are discussing about the main this is called heart of the Redshift, or in fact, this is the heart of the entire IT job that we do. Okay, loading and unloading. So what we do in real time is we will be loading data into warehouse. Okay, so yeah, loading is everyday job. Means like I said, everyday ATM transactions will be generated, or everyday the railway reservation transactions will be generated. So if you take any business, if you take for example supermarket, every day many customers will buy, and many transactions will be generated. That is source data actually. So it will be loaded into warehouse. Since every day these transactions will happen, so all the data will be loaded into the warehouse. That means loading is a everyday process. So that is the reason every day we will be doing our job or loading data into warehouse. That means where the data is coming from different sources. So I will explain you. Yeah, in this way, this is the actually ETL architecture. Okay, so our data warehouse architecture. ETL means extract, transform, and load. E for extract, T for transform, and L for load. So ETL data warehousing architecture is also called ETL architecture. In ETL architecture, what we do is we extract from different sources. Okay, so what are those sources? Your source transactions, I said, right? For example, banking transactions, or uh, railway reservation transactions, or supermarket transactions. They all will be stored in sources like MySQL, RDS, Postgres, OLTP systems. They will be there. I just put MySQL, but yeah, like that, there are many other OLTP systems like MySQL, Postgres, RDS, yeah, like that, or even sometimes flat files. So all those sources data will be extracted. That is called extract. Extract means pulling from somewhere, pulling from these OLTP systems to S3. Okay, so anything that we do in AWS, we first pull the data and put it in S3. Okay, so S3 is our first point. Anything before we do in AWS. So we extract the data into S3. So that means first we will place the data in S3. Then we do transform. Within ETL, E for extract, T for transform. Transform means I said, do you remember? I said one example, employee ID, employee name, first name, last name, and something like, account number. And in the real time, in the target side, I want first name dot, I mean, first character of the first name dot his name. I mean, do you remember? I showed one thing.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
You
Yes,
remember,
sir.
right? Yeah,
Yeah.
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 Yeah, so that is called transformation. Transformation means applying business rules so that we get the data the way that we want. For example, from source you are getting 16 digits of the account number, but we should not expose that 16 digit. We should expose only last four digits. Okay, so only that four digits will be shown in the or loaded into output. So there we will apply substring function from 8 comma 4. That means from 9, 10, 11, 12, last four digits should be loaded. Okay, like that. For example, first name, last name is there coming in the source. Okay, for example, yeah, for example, you take my name. Okay, for example, is Anand Krishna. Okay, but that is first name and last name. So, but I want to load it. Okay, for example, this is last name. Okay, this is first name. So generally, we'll take only one character. For example, I want to display it as A Krishna. Okay, so yeah, So what you should do, how the business rule will be. So first character you have to pull substring of last name. Okay, substring of 1 comma 1 last name or real name. Okay, so if you want to display in this format a dot Krishna, then you have to concatenate with, I mean, generally you should put it in single quote. And then of course F name, first name. Then it will fetch the data in this format. So writing logic like this is called transformation. Means you're transforming or you're applying the transformation logic to the original fields so that you can display the data as you want. Okay, similarly you see account number is coming from source. For example, you take only Aadhaar card. Okay, Aadhaar card is 12 digit number, right? But we should not expose Aadhaar card to all the number. So then SUB we start with 9 10 11 12. Yeah, we start with 9 comma 4, means it will start with the ninth letter or ninth character. 9, then apply 4 is the length, how many you want. 4, 9 10 11 12. Bus other number, a number, I mean other number, or whatever the field name that comes from the source. Bus as other. Okay, so I mean, you as what is that, as I'm doing, I'm giving alias as customer name. So like that. So these are all called transformation rules we will be applying. Okay, so yeah, that is what transformation rules we will be applying in the staging layer. In the staging layer, what we will do is we will first clean up the data. You see, cleaning and applying transformation rules. Okay, clean up the data means, for example, failed transactions. For example, if you put an ATM card, okay, so you entered the money something like 550 rupees you entered, then it will say transaction cancelled because I mean, and it will display message like enter the money in multiples of 100 or 500, like that it will tell. That means it is saying that you cannot withdraw 550. You should enter either in multiples of 100 or 500, so it will cancel the transaction. So that transaction, although cancelled, it is recorded in the source system. So all such kind of failed transactions will be filtering in the staging layer. So that means what we want to load only valid transactions into the warehouse. This is the warehouse Redshift. So any of such failed transactions or invalid transactions, okay, so for example, you entered and then you entered some amount, okay. For example, you entered 25,000, but that ATM limit is only, let's say, 10,000. Many of the ATMs, dispense only 10,000. So it will say, it is limit exceeded. Please enter 10,000 or below. That message will be displayed. Then again, you will retry. So the transaction also, everything that happens will be captured. Okay, and we'll be filtering such kind of transactions in the staging layer. Okay, so that is called cleaning actually. In staging layer, what happens? All the cleaning will happen and you will apply business rules or transformation rules, okay, as per the logic, how we want to load the data into target. That all this information will be there. I mean, what type of rules we should apply, this will be given by the, I mean, during the project, business analysts will give you. Okay, so how they want the data in the target, column to column mapping will be there, that will be given to you. Okay, so as per that you will prepare the logic, whether you should use substring or so you should use upper, lower, or concatenate, what you want. I mean, as per that business logic, column to column mapping you will be doing. So no need to worry about it. Here only thing you need to know is extract from source into S3, and then you will clean the data. Cleaning means filtering unwanted data and removing duplicate records and everything, and apply the transformation rules so that you will be loading the data as it is required into the warehouse. What is the warehouse? This is the target. So in our case, target means Redshift will be our warehouse. Okay, so here we will be loading. So once your data is ready here in staging layer, after filtering all unnecessary data, then what is next step? Load. ETL, E for extract, T for transform, L for load. Okay, here only we will be loading all the data. As I already said, in business, I mean in real time, there are different types of tables we'll be maintaining. Some tables will maintain only current data, some tables will maintain current data plus last 3 months data, 6 months data, and some tables will maintain complete history. Okay, so current data means what is that? SCD type 1. Okay, truncate and load. Every day you will fresh data you will load. Okay, current data. I already said the importance of SCD type 1, type 2, type 3. You should be knowing what is SCD type 1. SCD type 1 means every day full refresh, means truncate and load. Every day full file will come. You will delete the existing data and load the full file. SCD type 1 means maintain current data. That's what it is. SCD type 1 means maintain the current data. And SCD type 3 means type 3. 3 means current data plus recent history. For example, last 3 months data or last 6 months data, like that. For example, if you talk to a customer care, for example, I'm calling to Airtel customer care, and if you say that last month, I paid the bill, but bill not reflected, I still get the same bill, this month bill to pay. Then if you talk to them, they will say, okay, let me check. So they will be given access something like 3 months or 4 months or 6 months, so that they can assist us. Okay, our inquiries. But if you ask for, some 5 years data or 2 years data, they will not have access. Then they will say, okay, we have raised a ticket to our internal team. We'll update you. Like that, they will say. That means there are certain tables which need to be, having some 3 months data or 4 months data for this kind of, inquiry or customer care kind of thing. So that is the reason SCD type 2 tables will be maintained. Type 3. Then the most complex one and important thing is SCD type 2. SCD means slowly changing dimensions. What is SCD type 2? SCD type 2 means current data plus complete history. Okay, so current data plus complete history will be maintained in SCD type 2 tables. So yeah, we already said in SCD type 2 how how we will be implementing. SCD type 2 will be implemented in 3 ways. Date range method, flag method, and version method. And the date range method is what 99% of the customers will be using, because even in flag and version also date range will be used. Date range will be there. Okay, in flag is that only additional flag column will be there. In version, additional version column will be there, but they are actually redundancy. Only using date range, what is the start date and end date, only using them we can implement this SCD type 2. So that is why all the customers are using date range method, means start date and end date. What is the end date? We discussed 9999/12/31. Okay, so that is the end date. Do you remember that SCD type 2 session?
Yes, yes,
Yes,
yes.
sir.
Yeah, very, very, very important. Okay, so without SCD type question on SCDs, there is no interview. So be careful and browse some videos on SCD type 2 SQL implementation. SQL means by using queries, SCD type 2 means what? Load if it is new data and update if it is existing data. That is what SCD type 2. If it is current existing record, update. New records, insert. At the same time, we have to maintain the complete history. Okay, so yeah, there will be videos. Okay, so you just need to know. Generally, he will. This is the toughest question in the IT interview in our data warehouse. Okay, only this one question he will ask. If you tell, that's all you are selected. I mean, even recent interviews, I was asked this question. Okay, and I have given 3 interviews, and with all the 3 interviews, he has asked, "Can you tell me how do you implement SCD Type 2?" And he was asking, I mean, he was checking how I am explaining the insert and update, and he was trying to, checking whether I am telling the SQL queries correctly or not. So yeah, if you answer this one question, SCD Type 2, any amount of time you spend to understand SCD Type 2, that is worth. Okay, try and complete all the videos that explain about SCD Type 2 using SQL, not using Informatica, not using any other ETL tool. Don't worry about it, only SQL. Okay, how he is writing logic for inserting and updating. That's all. Okay, so this is about ETL architecture, which is common in anywhere. But earlier it is taken care using ETL tools like Informatica, Datastage, Ab initio, and all. Okay, but nowadays, um, yeah. So this is architecture even before or now, but only tools are different. Earlier ETL tools are using, but nowadays, we are using in cloud, S3. And here this part, for example, I'm circling after bringing data into S3. In the current, in the right now in the market, people are using Glue. Glue is ETL again. Glue is a it Glue is a um, ETL in the cloud. Okay, AWS cloud, AWS cloud. Okay, it is ETL. Like as I said, Informatica Data Stage Ab initio, Glue. But again, to work on a Glue, you should, I already said, right? Python, Scala, Spark, these things you should know, or PySpark. So, but at least if you know Python, I mean Spark and all will look like same. Means they all will be used some libraries and how to do. But anyway, you don't write any code here. Even Glue only will generate the code. Okay, but if you know this language, you will be able to understand what type of code it generated, so that if required any changes, you will be able to do. Only modifications you will be doing, like table names, column names. That's all. Rest all will be taken care by the Glue. But people will expect that Python, because if he definitely, this is also a definite question, but secondary question he will ask, do you know Python? Secondary question, but definite question. Then you should not say no. You should say that yes, I know. And of course, you can tell maybe how you used it. Otherwise, you can say that I know Python. Okay, we had gone through some internal training. Okay, but we have not get any chance to work on it. Bus. Okay, so or you can say that yes, I know Python because in the recent project we have used Python to build pipelines to load the data into Redshift tables, like that you can say. Then he will ask, can you tell me what are the libraries you have used? Okay, then you can say Python libraries, something like uh, I mean there are different libraries. Okay, some of them are. mm do you know any libraries? Some not, or do you know at least Python?
Yeah, yes, I work on that.
T- Yeah, tell me some libraries.
So pandas,
Yeah, pandas is one thing.
the different libraries depends.
Yeah, so pandas is for what?
Pandas is for data processing, like
Mm,
SQL. Instead of SQL,
yeah,
you can.
yeah.
Then there are
So
many things like request package and different
yeah,
packages for. Mm.
yeah. Pandas, NumPy. Okay, I mean NumPy is numerical manipulation and all. Okay, actually NumPy and pandas is the most widely used. But anyway, don't worry. That's why I'm telling you. When you say Python, so you should, I mean, study about it and then go. That's what I mean. Okay, so basic question they will ask is uh, libraries in Python, or you can commonly use libraries. So I mean, you just need to tell them. I mean, 10 Python. I think you see here top 10 Python libraries. Can you see here? Pandas, NumPy. Okay, so these are the main things actually. Pandas and NumPy. Those are the main for all data manipulation and all. Okay, so these two will be used everywhere. And of course, if you are using with Excel files, then CSV is there, XLRD is there. So like that. So if you read something about it, then you will know. So what is a library and see pandas, he will explain what is. Anyway, just to read about it. Generally, we use this pandas and this NumPy. Okay, so for any data manipulation, everything we do is a manipulation of the values, right? So this pandas and NumPy, you can just tell these two names because this is used in everywhere. In any Python programming you do, this pandas and NumPy will be used. So of course, if you are drawing any graph or anything, then MATLAB will be there. Something, some new everything will be there. Okay, but they are extra. If you are working with the Excel files, then CSV will be used. Then XLRD, if you're writing any data into Excel sheet. So like that, there are so many okay packages are there in Python. But basic, I mean, not only basic and mandatory things are Python and NumPy. These two. I think NumPy, you know, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. So that's a most common, these two, NumPy and Python. And remaining all, based on your use case, different things people will use. Okay, Matplotlib, and yeah, these are all, different other things. This is nature NLTK. I mean, this is we'll be using the other things we'll be using mostly in into when we are working on data science related things. So no worries. So just remember Python libraries means pandas and NumPy. Yeah, those two. Okay. So anyway, so that's what. So my point is, if somebody is asking, do you know Python, you should say yes. And can you please tell me some of the libraries? Means you can say I have worked on NumPy, Pandas, and Matplotlib. And of course, you can see I'm telling right CSV and XLRD. Those two also you can tell. Okay, because yeah, I have used them. So you can say them also. That's if you read something about Python, then you will get more details also that you can talk in the interview. Okay, so in that way we'll be loading into Redshift. Okay, so but while working with Redshift here to load from S3 to target tables, we'll be using copy. Okay, we are not using ETL tools like Informatica Data Stage, and we are not using Glue. Okay, what we are using Glue is again separate tool like Redshift data warehouse, right? Glue is again it's ETL. AWS ETL is a glue tool. So it's a separate thing. What we are doing is we are learning Redshift. So Redshift loading tool is called copy command. Copy command. Okay, this copy command is actually used to load data into Redshift tables. As I already said, we'll create schemas. Okay, work schema, stage schema like that. Okay, so these schemas in that schema, you see, for example, you are practicing tables, right, in the AWS here. And here, what you are doing here, all your tables will be created in the public schema. Okay, for example, whatever tables you are creating here, you are creating tables, right? They all will be creating in public schema. So like that, we'll be creating some schemas. Okay, for all stage tables, we'll create a stage db underscore schema. For all work tables, we'll create work db underscore schema. For example, all target tables, we'll create different based on what name we want. We'll create one schema. That means it will be easily understandable based on that schema name. Okay, any table that is present in stage schema, okay, those are all stage tables. Any table that is present in work schema, those are all work tables. Okay, any table that is present in the target schema, those are all target tables. So in the real time, they will follow certain process basically. Okay, naming conventions and all. Okay, so that for easy understanding of the things and to manage the things. Okay, so what this copy job will do is it will take the data from S3. Okay, see here, source for copy job is S3. Okay, that means your data in S3 and it will load it into stage table or works table, whatever it may be. Thing is that it will load it into a table. Okay, what copy job will do? It will take the data from S3 and load it into table. Remember, copy is used to load data from file to table. Okay, so that's what I said the term as load. Okay, but here we don't use the term load, but use the term called copy. Okay, that's a Redshift terminology. Copy means loading data from S3 to Redshift table. Okay, that Redshift table can be in stage schema, or it can be work schema, or it can be target schema. In any schema, okay, but it's a table. So what copy will do? Copy will copy or in the sense it will load the data from S3 to your table. Okay, it may be in any schema. Okay, it can be stage schema, it can be work schema, it can be target table or whatever it may be. Don't worry about it, but it's a table. So what copy will do? Copy will copy data from S3 to table. That's what. Is that clear? What is the copy will do? Copy will copy data from S3 to table. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So once copy is copied, I mean, once we run the copy script, okay, it will take the data from S3 and put it in the, for example, work table, okay, work schema dot table. Then, okay, so data is there in the work table. I mean, work schema, any table that is present in work schema, we call work table. Okay, any table that is present in stage schema, we call it a stage table. So let's say table is there in the work table and you need to load it into target table. Okay, so here your target is also table and source is also table. At the time, what you should do? Can you use copy?
No, sir.
Yeah,
Query.
yeah. Copy means file source should be file S3. Okay, but here your source is also table, target is also table. Then how do you load data from work table to target table? How do you load?
Through query, sir.
Yeah, right. Okay. So here although I used the term how do you load, that is just to confuse you. Okay. So when I say how do you load from work table to Redshift, what you should answer? My question is how do you load data from work table to target table? What is your answer should be?
Through query.
Yeah. Through query is one answer, but there is even better answer. What is that query? You should say insert select. Finish. Okay, the interviewer will be,
Honest.
he will not talk anything else. He is just flat. Okay, that means candidate has this stuff. That's all. Insert select, because when two tables are there, okay, so you cannot use copy. So you have to insert into target table, select star from source table. So that means insert into target table, select star from work table. So if required, I mean, I have already showed that. Again, I will show. So for example, you need to load it into insert into target table. So select, you can use select star from work table. Okay, or you see here, instead of star, there may be, logics like this. Star means they may not be direct columns. Okay, there will be some logics here. And of course, in certain cases, work table here, inner join, so some other table, some X table. Okay, again left join, some Y table. So like that, it can be a business, complex business logic. Okay, but what you're doing, you're inserting into target table, selecting data from whatever the tables that are related. So yeah, the answer that you said is through query. Yes, that's right. But what is that query? So that is one, to some extent, that's right. What you said is right. But more clear answer is yes, we can insert data in target table using a query, like insert select. If you tell insert select, that means that's all. Interviewer clearly knows that you know the things. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So okay, so now we know, okay, where copy will be used. And after that, yeah, once the data is loaded into stage table or work table, yes, so we will be using insert select to load it into Redshift. Okay, in the load, what we are doing, insert select. So when I say load, yeah, I purposely asked load because you will be confused. What is this load? This is a query. Yeah, your query what? But what you are doing in that query? You're only loading data into a table, right? You're inserting. Inserting means what? You're loading. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. If I say to insert data, what you will do, then you obviously will say insert select. But if I ask how do you load the data from work table to target table, yeah, through query. Okay, that is insert select. So you should say, even we use the term called load, it's insert select through query. Okay, yeah, that is called loading only. Okay, loading means from loading from stage or work table to target table. But this happens through query because both are tables. Okay, clear?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this is the, complete data warehouse architecture. That means here we are using copy command to copy from S3 to stage or work table, and then of course insert select to load it into Redshift. Okay, so okay, anyway, insert select is, basic SQL. If you know insert select, insert into target table, select star from stage table or work table, that's all. That should not be a big task, but copy is the main thing that we will be checking. Sometimes, you can directly load into target table just by using copy. Yes or no? In the copy, if you just use stage table, it will copy to stage table. In copy, if you use work table, it will copy to work table. But in copy, if you keep the table name as the target table, it will copy to target table. So it's only which table you are loading. That's all. Okay, so now let us see how to do this copy. So anyway, before that, can someone tell me how the data will come to S3? How the data will come to S3? We said that S3 is the source for copy, but how the data will come to S3?
Through ETL.
Yeah, actually, yeah, that's right. Uh, we said that all the transactions will be captured in OLTP systems, right? So that source team will send the data to S3. For example, daily ATM transaction will be generated and they will be stored in some MySQL, okay, source OLTP system. And there is separate team who is monitoring that. Please remember, everything will be worked by some team. You are working on warehouse, but there are people working on source. Those are MySQL developers and MySQL, support team. So their job is to see always MySQL server is up and running. Okay. So all the no transactions will miss. So those team will send that file and put it in S3. Like your job is to load the transactions into Redshift. Like their job is make sure this MySQL database always up and that file is extracted and sent to S3 at the end of the day. I mean, based on whatever timings they set. Understand?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yeah. So for us, they are the source team. Okay. And for them, we are the upstream. Upstream. Yeah. Or we can say downstream generally. Okay. Anyway, terms may be confusing. Once you are in real time, you'll understand. For example, you see, after Redshift, tell me what will be there. Here, Redshift is there, right? After that, BI will be there. BI means, Tableau or, Cognos or business objects. Some BI will be there here. That right? I already showed.
Yes.
Why we're loading into Redshift for BI purpose. BI means some reporting purpose. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yeah. So for BI people, the Redshift people are the source team. I mean, for example, we are Redshift, we are source team for the BI people. For us, these MySQL people are the source team. Understand? So, yeah, this for MySQL people, you are the upstream. Upstream, generally we don't say upstream, we say downstream. Down means, yeah, up, who are above up. And similarly, for us, the downstream people are the BI people. Okay, so that means they are depending on us. On depending on us means they are waiting for our job to complete. Okay, so once we load the data into Redshift, BI people can proceed like that. Okay, okay,
Yes, sir.
Yes.
yeah. So yeah, that means yeah, separate source team will be there. They will put the files here. Bus. Okay, so no need to think, but yeah, I'm making the things clear. So the people or the source team is responsible to which to full the files or not full to place the files in S3. Okay. Yeah. So now I have already showed S3. You type here S3 and you will get like this and go there. I think did I already showed you how to place files in S3? Did I showed or no?
No, sir.
Okay. Then you see you know right how to come here. Once you logged in here, this is the search. Okay, search for services. You type S3 and you will get everything that has S3. Click on S3 and you will come to the S3 homepage. So yeah, this is about S3. S3 means simple storage service. They call S3 buckets. Bucket means what? Bucket, what is the use of bucket? Tell me. Water bucket. It will hold the water, right? Similarly here, S3 bucket, simple storage service. It will store some files. Okay. So you just click on this create bucket. Okay. And it will ask you to give some name. For example, August, right? I didn't remember when we started. Just I think July. July. Yeah, July batch. For example, bucket name I gave July batch, and you just leave everything as it is and create bucket. I mean, we need to give one, name. What is that? The bucket name must not contain uppercase letters. See here, naming conventions. It should say it is saying that use only lowercase letters. Okay, fine, no problem. So create bucket, bus bucket created. See here, July batch bucket created. Then yeah, so this now you are in your bucket July batch. Then how to place files here? See here, upload button is there. Just click upload, and then you will see this window. Now you can drag and drop files, or you can add files. Okay, for example, add you if you click on add, it will add, or you can also drag and drop. For example, click on add files. Okay, so yeah, all these things you can put, or I think some files already. Yeah, src files. I mean, I created like this directory. Src files means source files directory. Yeah, these are the files. Let's say. Okay. Yeah, dept. Okay, file. Just open, select and open. Yeah, it will put here. Okay. And similarly, if you want to add one more, add here. For example, dpt underscore csv file. And then add. If you want to add dpt1. So after adding that, you can just click upload. See, your files has been uploaded. That means now files are placed in S3. See here, department1 dpt underscore csv. If you click on any, for example, you click on dpt, you will be able to see also the file. Okay, so this is the S3 URL. Okay, so this is the ARN, Amazon resource name. Okay, type text, size 64 bytes. So if you want to open that, you can open. If you want to download that, you can download. Or whatever you want to do, you can do from here, object actions. You want to rename, rename. Okay, for example, I want to open, I want to see what is the data. See, this is my source data. 100 HR Hyderabad, 200 sales BLR, 300 marketing Chennai, 400 production Pune. Okay, so if you want to download, you can download also the file. See here, it downloaded down. See, 100 HR Hyderabad, 200 sales BLR, 300 marketing Chennai, 400. Okay, so if that is the file or not, yes, you can go back and check here from where you uploaded. It's there in SRC files, right? Yeah, go to SRC files and see this is the same or not. Yeah, this is the same. Yes or no?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Yeah, so that means it is showing the same. Okay. And similarly, if you see dpt underscore csv, dpt underscore csv also, for example, see what is there here. Yeah, so 100, 200, 300, 400. Okay. So you will see there the same data 100, 200, 300, 400. Okay, CSV means, yeah, comma separated value. It will show like Excel sheet. Okay, so here also you can come back and see. You will see see this is CSV.csv. You click here, it will show. Okay, this is the URL. I mean URI we call, and this is the ARN size type CSV. Okay, fine. You can open or you can download. You can do whatever you want to do. See it open. Yeah, same CSV. Okay, so yeah, whatever we put in that bucket, the data will be there. So we'll be able to see. Or you can want to download, you can download. Okay, fine. So now our data is there in S3. Okay, so we want to load it into a table. That is our task using copy job. Okay, so first let me go. We will load DPT. Okay, DPT. For example, DPT1. I'm just checking this. What is the delimiter? I just want to open and see. Yeah, it's a pipe delimited. Okay, so I opened just to check the delimiter. You know what is the delimiter? Delimiter means between field to field separator is called delimiter. Delimiter means, for example, this is department number, this is D name, this is location. So between fields, this, okay, it will separate each field. Okay, that is called delimiter. Delimiter means field separator or column separator. Okay, when data is coming as a flat file or file format, delimiter is used. Otherwise, how do you know what is the first column, what is the second column, what is the third column? So they will use this separator, column separator. That is called delimiter. So this is the pipe. This symbol is called pipe. Okay, for example, we'll see what is the DEPT1. Open. Yeah, DEPT1 I have created as a comma separator. See here. Here, what is the delimiter? Comma. Okay, 10, 20, 30, 40. Okay, fine. So now, okay, so now we have file ready. Okay, we should make sure table is ready also. Okay, so but anyway, before going to that, I will tell you about how a copy script will look like. Okay, so come here, Redshift copy. You just type here. Okay, Redshift copy examples. So always open the links from docs.aws.amazon.com. Okay, so no need to go anywhere. Okay, see, these are all copy script examples. Okay, loading Okay, favorites move means that is a table. From DynamoDB table, loading listing. These are all tables listing this capital from an S3 bucket, load listing from AMR. So like that, you see listing from pipe delimited file. You see default delimiter is a pipe. Okay, listing is a table name. Okay, loading listing using columnar data Parquet format, load listing using ORC format. Okay, so different files, ORC, Parquet, these are all called different file formats. So event is a table. Okay, load event with options, load venue. Venue is a table. All these capital letters are tables. Event with options, venue. Okay, with fixed width file, category with CSV file. You see, this is CSV example. How to load table with CSV file. Okay, so load time with pipe delimited file. So load data with default values. So from JSON file, you see, copy from JSON file, copy from Avro file. So all these things. Okay, so we will show how to load from pipe delimited, comma separator, and JSON, and we also will show Parquet. Okay, yeah, Parquet. I mean, if the table is too big, means not table. If the file is too big, generally we use Parquet. Okay, Parquet. I will tell you the file formats at the time. I will tell you what is this Parquet. Okay, so in all other cases, we will be using delimited files, maybe pipe delimited. Generally, the most widely used delimiter is pipe delimiter. That's why it is default delimiter here. See here, pipe is a default delimited because that is most widely used. If the files are too big, then Parquet format. In the real time, if somebody asks, tell me what type of file format you have used, you can definitely say that I have used yeah, most of my files are pipe delimited. Okay, I have also used Parquet files, but he will not ask you anything else. I mean, that means he will believe that you are real time and you worked on it, but yeah, I worked with Parquet files. So yeah, we will see this Parquet file loading also. Yeah, so in order to load Parquet file, you should have data in the Parquet format, right? So yeah, so in the when I was teaching the first batch, I don't have Parquet format. So what I did is I first exported or unload the data into Parquet format and then loaded that Parquet file into using CopyScript. But now I have Parquet file, so no problem. We can use this Parquet to using copy to load it into a table. Okay, then we also will use JSON examples and all. Okay, so now let's come with default delimiter, pipe delimiter. Pipe delimiter is the most widely used. That's why it is called default. See here example, copy table name. Okay, but anyway, if you want to see copy, see this is the syntax. Okay, see in the left hand side only you will have everything. Copy. Okay, first page. Then these are the example. This is the first. This is the example. Can you see my cursor? In the left hand side, it will come one by one.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so copy is the keyword. Okay, copy table name, list of columns from data source. Okay, what is your data source? Generally, this is S3. Yeah, we will see. And authorization means IAM role will be there. Format means it's uh, Parquet, ORC, JSON, whatever the format may be. Yeah, so if you see the example, you will know. See here, copy table name from S3. Okay, from you should always have S3. Authorization role, IAM role. You should be giving IAM role. Region, of course, region is optional, no worries. And one more thing here, in the bracket he put right, in the bracket put means it's optional. in the bracket, the square bracket. These are all optional. But you see, copy table name, that is compulsory. From S3, that is compulsory. And IAM, authorization. IAM means authorization. This is compulsory, remaining optional. So I will show you an example how to create that. So no worries. Yeah, these are all different options. Format, CSV, delimiter, fixed width. File format means Avro, JSON, all these things, Parquet, ORC. And these are all different other parameters. Something like if you want to mention date format, you can mention. If you have blanks in the data, then blanks as null. So yeah, ignore header. If you're coming header in the source, you can ignore header. Nulls, as if you are getting nulls in the source, you can treat them whatever you want. Yeah, these are all different parameters, don't worry. Okay, yeah, then copy examples. If while working with examples, we will know. Okay, just by reading we will not know anything. Okay, so let's see the examples. Yeah, so in examples, uh, we cannot work, we means you cannot work DynamoDB example, EMR example, but the rest all we can work. Okay, DynamoDB example we cannot work, EMR we cannot work, but rest all we can do in our lab. So first I will show you one thing how to get started. Open this delimiter. Okay, pipe delimiter. This is the example actually. So copy table name from S3. See, from S3. Then IAM role. See here, only three mandatory things. Copy followed by table name from where you want to load, from this S3. Then IAM should be there. Okay, IAM should be there. So tell me now, if you want to run copy, what all should be there? Table should be created first. Okay, table should be created first. Then your file should be present in S3. Okay, and you should already have a role created. That means three things you should do. First, create your table, and then make sure you have your file in S3, and then create a role. So once these three are there, then you can run the copy script. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And if your file, for example, if you're loading a Parquet, yeah, see, he is using copy table from S3. Okay, so IAM role, your role name, and format. I mean, here you can mention format as Parquet or CSV or whatever it may be. Here only you will mention Parquet or CSV or whatever it may be. Here you will mention. But I already said it's optional, so it was not there in here in first example. Okay, here you did not mention means it will consider that as the pipe delimited. But if delimiter is anything other than pipe, you have to mention it as a format as Parquet or format as CSV, like that. For example, see here down, format as ORC. Okay, so this is delimited file, pipe delimited. This is another example. But if it is a delimited, you no need to mention delimiter pipe, because pipe is the default delimiter. You no need to mention it, or you can mention it, no problem. And you see the other parameters I showed, right? Remove quotes means if data is coming with quotes, you can add this remove. It will remove quotes. Empty as null means if from source if something is coming empty, it will treat it as a null. Blanks as null means if something coming as blank from the source, it will treat them as null. Max error. Max error, you if you give 5 means it will not fail till 5 errors. Max error means it's like error limit. It will not fail till 5 errors. Delimiter pipe means it will make sure column separator means every field it will check where this pipe is there, and it will consider that is the value for each column. And the time format, whatever format you give, that will consider. I mean, these are the values that I showed here in the syntax we studied, right? Parameters, data conversion parameters, this one. Examples. Okay. Okay. So yeah, this is the way copy will be there. But we know that in order to run the copy, we should create the table, and then we should have our file in S3. Okay. And then we should create IAM role. Okay. So now our table should be created in S3. Okay. In Redshift. Okay. Then we create IAM role, and of course our data is already there in S3. Okay. These files only we will load. Once we do all these things, then we should be running the S3. I mean a copy job. Then it will load. If there are any errors, we should troubleshoot it. Okay. If there are any errors in doing that, we should be troubleshooting that. Okay. Anyway, today is first class, right? After a long break, I don't want to, do everything in one stretch. I'll stop it here. Okay. So, any questions?